with us today to talk about Black Oxygen Organics. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Chrissy, how are you doing?
Wonderful, thank you. So I'm going to give you all a little bit of an update on this amazing guy that we have over here next to us. Steve, number one, I would be remiss being a Marine mom if I did not start with a thank you to you for your service. You were a retired lieutenant colonel in the Marines, is that correct?
Yes.
You had a pretty cool job there too, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I was a Cobra attack helicopter pilot.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's a whole other show. We got to go on to that. That's incredibly amazing. So thank you again for your service. And today we're going to talk about Black Oxygen Organics. And with that, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about Steve, and I'm going to read it to make sure I give him all the best information to you as possible. But Steve has a doctorate in nutrition. He has a PhD in public health, as well as he is on the scientific advisory board for Black Oxygen Organics. So needless to say, bottom line is, you know health, you know what's important for us, and therefore you're going to advise us on this mineral coffee today. Tell us a little bit about your product and company.
Okay, sure, Christy. Just to give you a little bit of an idea, it's called Black Oxygen Organics. It's infused fulvic acid infused coffee. Essentially this is your coffee talk. I know that when you contacted me, you said it might be good to talk about coffee. The company actually makes it in a number of different formulations. And so it's available in either drops or coffee pods that work in a Keurig coffee machine. And that's what I'm drinking right now. I usually drink several cups of this every morning.
Absolutely. And you know what? I have to say that it is a very smooth cup of coffee.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it tastes amazing. So I love our pods. We have them as well. Can you tell me a little bit about, it's an Italian dark roast. Like I said, it's very smooth. What sets this coffee pod apart from a different coffee pod that somebody might buy just from a regular store?
Well, two things. It's more expensive, number one. It's but it's going to be less expensive than going to a Starbucks or any number of places. It usually costs right around $2 a pod, which is actually a pretty good deal compared to going to a store and buying coffee. What sets it different is that it's got a really nice Italian dark roast coffee that's in it that works in you need a Keurig coffee maker, and if you don't have a Keurig coffee maker, company has drops that can be substituted. It has fulvic acid, humic acid minerals in it, which are an excellent mineral source. So it gives you a nice opportunity to get a good supply of micronutrients and minerals in your coffee every morning. Those minerals, and I've had a lot of vitamin coffees before, and most of them are pretty disgusting because you can actually taste a lot of the additives to it. This is completely tasteless. All you can taste is a nice, robust Italian dark roast coffee.
Absolutely. And you can add your regular creamer or whatever. If you're like me, you like to do that as well.
Yep. Mine is black, but
right. But at $2 a pod compared to Starbucks, my drink there with all of my favorite little, extras and additives, that drink is at least $5-6.
Oh, yeah.
It's about a third the price right here at home, and it has health benefits.
Exactly. And this company will actually deliver the coffee to your door. And I'm not sure that Starbucks has started doing that. They may, though.
Well, I don't know. Maybe today. I don't know. Actually, I think they're closed right now. So this would still continue to come to you, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. So this product, Black Oxygen Organics, it's a Canadian company, and it's shipped to Canada, the U.S., and select international countries, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Is the coffee actually derived in Canada?
I don't know the answer to that. So, maybe if we do another one of these in the future, we can get the manufacturer on board as well. He could probably answer some of those questions. So I'm more prepared to answer, some of the science behind, why would you want to take this kind of coffee and what's the benefit of it?
Absolutely. Well, that's kind of where I was going with that, though, is I guess bottom line is it's got the fulvic acid in it, you said. So that's coming through the soils that's creating the product, right? And then what is that doing for our bodies?
Yeah, and so just basic science 101 on this. I won't get too deep into it, but essentially, when we grow a plant in the soil, the plant absorbs from the soil minerals and lots of micronutrients that it incorporates into its cellular structure and gives us those health benefits from eating the plant. So a plant grows in the mud, absorbs from the mud what comes up into it, and that's what yeah, is produced in the plant materials that we eat, whether it is an apple, a peach, any of the number of green vegetables, the cruciferous vegetables, etc. So they are dependent on the soil. And just to give you a little bit of history, and I don't want to get too much into this, but way back in 1936, the 76th Congress of the United States made a statement that said that 99% of the American people were mineral deficient. And they had a marked deficiency. And one of the problems was that farmers in those days did not realize that they just couldn't go out and plant time after time, year after year, crops in the same soil. Because what happens is that after a while, the plants begin to deplete the soil of those important mineral nutrients. The soil becomes mineral deficient, and what happens is that the people that eat those plants therefore become mineral deficient. Shortly after the Great Dust Bowl that occurred in the 1930s, folks decided, well, we need to uh, uh, replenish the minerals that are taken out of the soil. And so they came up with the NPK fertilizers. That's the nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus fertilizers, which are healthful for the plants because the plants are then able to grow robustly when you add those particular minerals back in. But our human bodies need more than those three minerals, and so today many folks tend to be mineral deficient, and certainly if you're just eating your vegetables and plants from a certain area that might be mineral deficient in itself.
Got it. And so what do those minerals do for us in a day like today when we've got, the virus going on? We need immunities in our body. Does this help us?
Well, yeah, and some of the symptoms of mineral deficiency might be poor cognitive thinking, headaches, chronic migraine can sometimes occur in folks that are mineral deficient. Constipation, fatigue is a big marker. Folks just get tired, and both physical, mental, and emotional fatigue. Insomnia can be a symptom. Muscle spasms and cramping, because the proper mineral balance is important for the function of our muscles. Chronic pain and fibromyalgia is worsened by mineral deficiency. Heart arrhythmias can occur, certainly, because our heart, the muscles in the heart, work on the balance between potassium and sodium. And in addition to heart arrhythmias, numbness and tingling in the hands and the feet, and sometimes mood and behavioral disorders are associated with mineral deficiencies. So that's what happens when you are mineral deficient, and that's one of the reasons that it's very important to uh, make sure that you are supplementing well, either uh, from the foods that you're eating, or if the foods are deficient, from some other source.
So, in drinking these products or using the drops or the sachets, which is the third way which you can get it, I believe, is drinking one okay, or is drinking multiple okay? Does it matter?
Well, yeah, but one is sufficient. Multiple, I love coffee. I drink a lot of it in the morning, and I've got this Keurig machine in my office that makes it very simple. I just pop the pod in and make the coffee. So I end up drinking a fair amount in the morning. So as you can see, the size of my coffee cup is not very small, but I usually go through a few of those.
So, you're okay to have multiple.
Yes, yeah. There's no known toxic limit to this. The product that's in this is a fulvic and humic acid mineral compound, and to give you an idea of what that is and why it's important, let's go to the Nile Delta. The Nile Delta floods on a seasonal basis, and when the floods come, you get this mud that's deposited in the soil, and all of a sudden the plants grow in a robust fashion because you are replenishing the minerals that are in the soil that are depleted by the plants that are growing in there. And our soils don't have the benefit of having, most of them anyhow, don't have the benefit of the Nile Delta depositing this wonderful mineral composting material into the soil on an annual basis. So, what can we do if we are eating foods that might be deficient from the soils wherein the produce that we are eating is grown? And so one of the things that can be done is to supplement. Now, fulvic acid and humic acid, to give you an idea, this is actually prehistoric deposits of minerals that are up to 60,000 years old. They are in many places around the planet, but this particular company, Black Oxygen Organics, utilizes a deposit that they found in Canada. It's far from a populated area, so there's no chance of having industrial or other types of pollutants that would leach into the soil. They had to dig down a great depth, and I'm not exactly sure what, but I believe about 60 to 100 feet sticks in my mind. So they literally have to mine this from the deep part of the earth. Again, these deposits are 60,000 years old, and you have pristine products that are actually the product of years and years, centuries and decades, centuries and millennia uh, uh, of composting of this material that under pressure ends up becoming essentially broken down into its finest product, which is fulvic and humic acid. It's one of the smallest molecules that's out there, and those are great transporters of minerals into the cell.
So those transport into our cells for our body to more naturally accept them and utilize them.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect. Absolutely. I love features and benefits. It's long been part of my ingrained part in my sales history. So I love that. And as a matter of fact, if somebody wants to know all the deep down intense research, there's over 38 pages of clinical research on the website.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, just to summarize, I really don't want to make this talk too long, but some of the benefits. What are the benefits of fulvic acid? Someone might think, and there's studies that show that consuming fulvic acid products can reduce oxidative stress. It's a very powerful electrolyte, which is important for energy. It creates an alkalizing environment in the cell, which is beneficial. It increases the availability of oxygen to the cell up to 45%. And these are all based on studies, both scientific and clinical studies that have been done in the past. The fulvic acid contains up to 70 trace minerals, and it can also help to support immune and digestive systems, support healthy circulation, and it helps to provide usable oxygen directly to the cell. And that's just a small amount of a very long list of things that this can actually do. Now, the important thing for me to state when I do these presentations is that this is not meant to be a drug, and all companies that produce nutritional supplements always produce the caveat that the statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The product is not intended to diagnose, treat, mitigate, cure, or prevent any disease. So
Right.
that is the official caveat that must be stated whenever presentation is being made on a non-drug product. So
That's
yeah.
very fair. Well, as you and I mentioned, we both love our coffee
Mm-hmm.
using the pods, but you did mention it comes in drops and there's sachets. So can those drops be added? They're tasteless, so they can be added to any liquid drink?
Yes, you can actually, this is the bottle of the drops, and you can actually add that directly into water. You want to use a nice pure water because you don't want to be getting contaminants, from the water system. So any of the commercial filters, the Brita type filters, the zero water filters. If you don't have one on your home system, you can get a nice pure product with the chlorine removed, and that's important as well. You can add this directly into it. It's completely tasteless. Now, the only thing is, it's black, so that you'll be drinking black colored water. So it's one of the reasons that some folks prefer the coffee, because coffee is already black. But yeah, in the water, it just if you close your eyes, you can't tell that you're drinking it. It's completely tasteless.
Absolutely. So if somebody wants to order these products and learn more about them, should they go to the website that we have below?
Yeah, there's a link below that you can sign up. They have business opportunities, which for some folks that might have been displaced from their job, would be important. But the cost to do the business opportunity versus just being a customer is exactly the same, and that's one of the things that I like about this company. That you don't get a price break or benefit. The price is all the same, no matter how that you want to try it, and you can click on that link and get there and order some that'll get shipped to you. And it comes from Canada. So when I first made my order, it's a little more expensive than the shipping that you normally get from some products that are here in the USA. But to get it across the border, it's a little bit more expensive, but it gets to you really quickly.
Fabulous. And I believe we talked about this before, not today here, but you and I have talked. You're not noticing really a delay in shipping coming to you from the end of the order.
Yeah, I get it every month. And if you saw that, I don't know if you can see the shelf behind me, but I've got quite a few boxes of it here because we go through a good bit of it. But it comes like clockwork, so I have not seen any delay in shipping whatsoever.
That is amazing. Hey, listen, I want to make sure that everybody realizes not only do I appreciate you and your time and your service, but we're getting all of this information straight from you. And you had your doctorate, we said, and your PhD in nutrition and public health, right?
Oh yeah, and I have a doctorate in nutrition, but the PhD in public health is ongoing. I haven't been awarded that one yet, so I wanted to make that correction.
That's all right. Working on that. You will be there very soon, no doubt.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, as always, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. I want to thank you for taking time with us today. It's about time we talked about coffee on My Coffee Chat.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Enjoy. Good to talk with you, Chris.
Absolutely. Thank you. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. If you want to know more about Black Oxygen Organics, check out the website below, blackoxygenorganics.com/mineral coffee. Let me know if you have any questions about real estate in Central Ohio for buying, selling, or investing. Homes by Chrissy, 614-332-0342. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.